In the heart of fashionable Los Angeles, the lives of the Forrester, Spencer, and Chancellor families have once again been plunged into turmoil, entangled in a complex web of tragedy, conspiracy, and shocking confessions. At the center of this labyrinth are Nikki Newman, Ridge Canning, Michael Baldwin, Christian Key, Lily Winters, Crystal Chappell, and Kane Ashby, Darren Brooks, whose actions threaten not only familial bonds, but the very social fabric of the city. For months, a fire of festering resentment and vengeance has burned within Nikki Newman. Her husband Thomas Forrester's, Peter Bergman, perceived betrayals, his reckless decisions regarding their son Douglas, Henry Joseph Samory, and his recent closeness with Hope Logan, Annika Noel, have pushed Nikki to the brink of ruthless retaliation. But emotion alone wouldn't suffice. To translate her dark desires into reality, Nikki needed an accomplice, someone with both the strategic cunning and the operational capability to assist her. Enter Michael Baldwin. A man navigating his own complex path of redemption and self-discovery, Michael had found a semblance of stability with Lauren Fenmore, Tracy Melendez, and his connection to GD, Jenny Garth. Yet, the shadows of his past, particularly his intricate history with Sheila Carter, Kimberlyn Brown, had never fully released him. When Nikki first whispered her scheme, Michael hesitated, but ultimately agreed.
Why?
Sources suggest a deep-seated, long-simmering disdain for Thomas Forrester festered within Michael. He saw through Thomas's idealistic and noble facade, viewing him instead as a hypocrite who used his power and wealth to manipulate others. Nikki's proposal offered Michael a chance to vindicate that belief and, simultaneously, deepen his own complex alliance with Nikki. This wasn't merely about helping her. It was an act of rebellion against his own history of pain. Their plot was detailed and merciless. The target, to implicate Thomas in a crime so severe it would destroy him legally and socially. They settled on a complex network of financial malfeasance and art forgery, one with tenuous historical links to Forrester creations. Nikki, as Thomas's wife, had access to personal documents and digital footprints. Michael, applying the strategic skills honed during his own troubled past, began meticulously fabricating evidence, distorting data to build a mountain of proof against Thomas. They created fraudulent documents, forged signatures, and even fabricated voice notes. Their masterstroke involved coercing the owner of a small but influential art gallery to testify that Thomas had knowingly encouraged the sale of counterfeit artworks and laundered the proceeds. Nikki and Michael calculated that once this scandal broke in the media, Forrester Creation stock would plummet, the board would oust Thomas, and a prison sentence would likely follow. This isn't just about punishing him, Nikki told Michael in a clandestine meeting. It's about destroying the very thing he loves most, the Forrester name itself. Their communications were meticulously covert, public places with no obvious connection, encrypted digital messages. They knew a single misstep could be their undoing, especially with watchful eyes like Ridge Forrester, Joshua Hoffman, or Brooke Forrester, Catherine Kelly Lang, ever present. Amidst this brewing storm, on an entirely different front, another seismic drama unfolded. Lily Winters, who had fought her way through life struggles, divorce, and addiction to find stable ground, suddenly reappeared in the life of her ex-husband and the father of her child, bearing a devastating and unexpected truth. Lily and Kane Ashby's relationship was never simple. Their love was profound, but repeatedly fractured by betrayal, misunderstanding, and external pressures. The birth of their son, Maddie, Remy McKellar, added a new dimension. Yet, Lily appeared content in her current marriage to Dr. John Finn Finnegan, Tanner Novlin. But a secret truth had festered within Lily for a decade. Finding Kane alone one recent evening, Lily cast aside her doubts and revealed an astonishing piece of information. According to our sources, Lily confessed to Kane that Maddie is not his only child. Nearly a decade ago, a passionate, turbulent reunion between Lily and Kane resulted in a pregnancy. Their relationship was fragile at the time, and Lily, terrified that a baby would shatter what little stability remained, kept it hidden. Early in the pregnancy, she suffered what she believed was a tragic, natural miscarriage. However, in later years, through conversations with old physicians and her own medical records, she began to suspect the miscarriage may not have been accidental. She harbored a dark fear that someone from their past, perhaps an enemy of Cain's or a shadow from her own life, might have been responsible. This confession left Cain utterly reeling. It ripped open a deep, painful chapter of their past while pointing a finger at a potential crime. Cain's first, burning question was, who could have done this?
And why?
The news fundamentally shifted Cain's perspective. He felt he wasn't just facing the potential loss of Maddie, who was making plans for a career abroad, but had, unknowingly, lost another child long ago. This fury and grief made him volatile. He pressed Lily for details, but her memories were clouded by trauma and emotion. She could only hint that someone from their orbit at the time, perhaps Sheila Carter or Bill Spencer, Don Diamont, or another formidable figure, might be behind it. Cain now found himself fighting a two-front war. On one side, he joined forces with Lily to investigate the cryptic clues from their past. On the other, he was already assisting his brother Ridge and sister Brooke in probing the new financial allegations swirling around Forrester Creations. He didn't know if the two situations were connected, but his instincts screamed a warning. On the surface, Nikki and Michael's frame-up and Lily's confession appear as separate tragedies. However, in the incestuous world of Los Angeles high society, storylines are seldom truly isolated. If an enemy from Cain's past was indeed responsible for the miscarriage, that same individual could be active in current schemes. They could be using the chaos created by Nikki and Michael as a smokescreen. And what of Nikki and Michael's plot? While not directly targeting Cain or Lily, Thomas Forrester's downfall would weaken the entire Forrester family, impacting the Spencers and Chancellors by extension. In such an unstable environment, Cain's quest for the truth about his past would become exponentially more difficult. It's possible the machinations against Thomas could provide cover for Cain's old foes to operate with renewed secrecy. History on the bold and the beautiful dictates that no scheme stays hidden forever. Ridge, Brooke, or perhaps Michael's own gnawing conscience could expose the plan. Nikki may find herself once again isolated amidst the wreckage of her actions. Armed with Lily's clues, Cain will embark on a deep investigation. This journey may lead him to Sheila Carter, Bill Spencer, or even surprisingly, back to Michael Baldwin. In this pursuit, he may also find unexpected allies. This crisis could force new and unlikely alliances among the Forresters, Spencers, and Chancellors. Hope Logan may rally to Thomas's defense, while Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, might stand firmly beside her brother Cain. Lily is no longer a passive observer, but an active player. How will this confession impact her current marriage? Can Finn understand and support her through this painful revelation? This dramatic turn on the bold and the beautiful has injected new depth into the characters of Nikki, Michael, Lily, and Cain. It moves beyond mere romance and business rivalry to explore the complexities of human emotion, the limits of forgiveness, and the struggle to escape the long shadows of the past. Nikki's vengeance, Michael's internal conflict, Lily's long-buried secret, and Cain's quest for truth collectively prove once again that in this glamorous world, nothing is more valuable or more fragile than truth and trust. Viewers must now wait to see whose pursuit of justice will prevail and who will be left facing utter ruin.